Today, I'm going to break down 5 reasons why no one wants to buy a Mercedes EQS. Reason number 1 is the looks. The way this is designed, most people don't seem to like it. Take a look at some of these comments. Jelly bean that meets a Ford Taurus design. Wow. Doesn't look like a $100,000 car, more like a $35,000 one. They're actually not wrong. The EQS has depreciated so heavily that you could buy one for $35,000. Sadly, the EQS is the Cybertruck of Tesla. The car, no matter how good it is, will never be liked just because of the way it looks. Mercedes buyers want beautiful cars, and they have so many. Take a look at the GT63. That's about as good looking as they come. The EQS, on the other hand, completely misses the mark. With the EQS, Mercedes went for the lowest drag coefficient possible, and the engineers won out against the designers. This car might slice through air better than any car out there, even better than airplanes, but it looks like this. The unfortunate thing is, if Mercedes made this car look like the GT63, they might not have any problem selling this car whatsoever. Mercedes, out of all of the car manufacturers out there, should have realized that their buyers do indeed care about the way the car looks. Mercedes has created some of the most beautiful cars ever designed. I just don't know how they screwed up so badly with the EQS. Looks are only one part of the problem. Reason number 2 that this car is not selling is this is just not something people aspire to buy. Mercedes makes the kinds of cars that people dream of buying and owning. Look at all those AMGs or the S-Classes. These kinds of cars are emotional purchases. There's nothing emotional about buying the EQS. Nobody's gonna look at this car and really wishes they had one. People will go bankrupt trying to buy a McLaren, but with this car, you would rather buy a boat. Mercedes is a status symbol full of prestige. When you pull up in an S-Class, you're making a statement. This car, on the other hand, it might as well be a Honda Civic. And it's not even just Mercedes. Look at Porsche with its Taycan. There's no emotional attachment to these cars. Electric vehicles have no soul. They're computers on wheels, completely artificial. There's nothing special about them. And so with all these brands like Mercedes and Porsche, no matter how good their electric vehicles might be, it's just not going to be the same. And on top of that, it looks like this. Reason number 3 is that the EQS is competing with a bunch of EVs, and not to mention, it's competing with itself. The EQS is positioned as an electric S-Class, and the typical S-Class buyer would never buy an electric S-Class. The S-Class Mercedes has a very strong and loyal fan base. They would never buy an EQS, especially one that looks like this. That's a shame, because the EQS is just as luxurious on the inside, just like the S-Class, and even comes with some pillows. Headrest too. This car is neither here nor there. It can't attract Mercedes buyers, and it can't attract typical EV buyers like those who buy Tesla or Lucid. So the EQS is stuck in no man's land. Nobody wants it. It's out there fending for itself. And for the limited pool of EV buyers, the competition is tremendous. Not only do you have Mercedes, you have BMW, you have Audi, in addition to the Teslas and Lucids of the world. Add to that the expensive price tag of an EQS, low 6 figures, and you have a car that becomes incredibly difficult to sell. But guess what? A 3-year-old EQS you can buy for $30,000, and for that amount of money, this is a pretty good deal. Reason number 4 is the way this car drives. There is absolutely nothing exciting about driving this Mercedes. The steering is really numb, really boring. Obviously there's no sound because this is an electric vehicle, other than some fake futuristic noises. It doesn't matter how many roaring pulses or vivid fluxes Mercedes puts into this EQS, it does not make a difference. The EQS weighs almost 6,000 pounds, and you feel every pound of that weight. It's not that the EQS is hard to drive or unmanageable, it's just that this car is no fun to drive. Mercedes is one of the best teams in F1 with gobs of technology. They know how to make a great car, but they've managed to strip away every ounce of fun from this EQS. The brakes also behave very strangely. They're kind of squishy. You have to push down really hard to get the car to slow down. And with regen, the brake pedal does some weird things. It's all just set up in a very strange manner. As a driver, the EQS is the last car you want to buy. You're better off buying a Tesla. But as a passenger, you're gonna love this thing because this is super quiet, lots of sound insulation, and an extremely smooth ride. When it comes to ride comfort, I'm not sure if you could find a better car than this. You could go over the bumpiest road and not feel a thing. Mercedes drivers are a passionate bunch. They have needs. They need to be inspired. And the EQS does anything but that. Reason number 5 is charging. Even today, after all these years of having EVs, the charging network is nowhere near as good as just going to a gas station and filling up your tank. But I have some good news. You can actually use a Tesla supercharger because the EQS has an adapter, so that makes charging a little less painful. But I'll tell you, having owned my Tesla for a while, it's still a pain to have to charge it. It's still not super easy, and you always have battery range anxiety. And do you think a Mercedes buyer would put up with all of the hassles of charging? There's no way. When they buy a high-end Mercedes like this, they want the ultimate in comfort and convenience. Charging, forget it. A car that comes with pillows, I need my luxury, man. I can't be bothered with charging this nonsense. Until Mercedes provides the ultimate charging infrastructure, I don't think Mercedes buyers will be flocking to the EQS anytime soon. Of course, eventually we'll get there because that's where the world is headed, but at least for now, charging leaves much to be desired. At least with the EQS, you get pretty good battery life. A lot of people are also really worried about how long the battery will last. Will they have to replace the battery at an exorbitant cost 5 years from now? Fortunately, Mercedes offers a 10-year, 155,000 mile warranty on their batteries. But you don't need to worry about the battery because guess what? This door panel is gonna fall off long before the battery dies. And so because of all of those reasons, no one is buying an EQS, and guess what that means? A 3-year-old high-end Mercedes that cost $110,000 when brand new, you can now buy for $35,000. I can't even begin to tell you just how much car you're getting for that money. Sure, it might not be a driver's car, but it's insanely luxurious, super amazing ride, so quiet, and a ton of technology. Beautiful ambient lighting, not just on the door panels, but also on the seats. Seat massagers for every part of your body, and cameras in every possible direction. If you can get past the way this looks, or just flat out ignore it, you can enjoy a 6-figure Mercedes for a third of the cost. And you still get the full new car warranty that lasts for 4 years if you buy a 2-year-old model or a 3-year-old one. For the money, this is such a great car, so much luxury, so much tech. Enjoy it while you have the warranty, and then when you run out, just sell it. Easy.